Welcome to MILF.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Jennifer.
And we are two moms into literary freedom. Hey, Jennifer. You
Hey,
look
Courtney.
sexy as always.
Thank you.
Is that just what you look like when you go to work? Or no, you didn't go to work today.
I didn't go to work today.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had time today.
I did not.
But I do try. I do try to go to work with makeup because I get overheated at work. And I'm the type of person who gets really red in the face.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like makeup kind of helps dull that a little.
Okay.
And it just makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah. Well, hey, I just found a new product. I mean, new to me. It's called Illicit, which I'm sure you've heard of it. But it's you know how Kohl's has Sephora now?
Yeah.
So one of my kids is really into that. So we went and had to smell all the perfumes and stuff. But, we're getting we're getting older and we really need to take care of our face in terms of the sun living in Florida. So I'm like, I need an SPF foundation. So I found a nice 45 SPF foundation that also does that, kind of makes me look younger. It's got like all the magical chemicals, like what is it, like hyaluronic acid and squalene.
Girl, I don't know.
No?
I plaster it all on, but I have no idea what any of it.
I don't care what this is. Yeah. I don't know. I tell myself it'll help with aging.
I feel like it does. I don't know. Most people, I'm not saying that I look great for my age, but I think a lot of people are surprised when they hear my age, like especially younger people that I work with.
You do look great
and
because you're
46.
Older. Yeah, you're older than me.
I'm 46, yeah. So I kind of, based off that, I'm like, young kids are not liars, So if they're telling me like, oh, what? You're 46? I thought you were like 30 something. Yeah. And I'm like, I love you.
I definitely would say you look like you're in your 30s. So
thank you.
Well, I turned 39 this year, so
Botox might be in my future. I don't know.
Hey, I've heard some good things about it, as long as you don't like overdo it.
Yeah.
But it is super expensive, which I mean, you're not going to want to overdo it anyway, but
Yeah, that might hold me back a little, especially in this economy.
Right, exactly. $5 a gallon for gas.
I'm so screwed lately. I mean, since we're on the topic, I was getting my lash extensions, and I just had to cut that out. Because gas and groceries are kicking my ass.
Yeah, so. You definitely have to start like figuring out like what to cut. And luckily we have jobs and we're able to, still pay for gas and groceries, but like, oh man, it's just it's worse than I think a lot of people thought it would be. I think a lot of people saw this coming from miles away.
Right.
We didn't listen to them. Well, I did, but what else? Right. What was I supposed to do?
They didn't listen to us.
Just agree with you? Yeah. Like, yeah, I get it, man. We're going in a bad direction. What should we do? Vote? Okay, I'll do that. And I did, and it didn't work.
No.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Israel is the administration and Israel government, whatever you want to call it, is just evil as ever. Getting worse and worse, not even hiding it anymore. The United States is having a hard time, not that they're even trying to spin it in a good light, but like, I don't know how you can't. I don't know how anyone can say, yeah, it's a good thing that we're still allies with Israel and we need to help them. Like, I just don't get it.
I don't either. Like, I don't understand people who still support him. I don't know. I had this conversation yesterday with my sister-in-law who voted for him. And I was a little upset to find that out. And she knows, right? Because obviously I've been very vocal about how I feel about people who supported him. And so she came out and told me that she voted for him, but she regrets it. And that I was right. So I was like,
see, I am still waiting for some of those conversations with some of my people to occur. Right now, it's just don't talk about it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, because they clearly know they know that I have this podcast. They know how I feel.
Right.
So, but I mean, maybe there is an answer. Maybe it's just, and that kind of goes along with what we're going to talk about today. And literally every fucking book that we've talked about is just like, the ignorance, right? Or choosing to, reject the truth to sort of like badly quote 1984, reject the evidence of one's eyes or whatever, because, my algorithm is a very depressing algorithm. And I mean, I've got other social media accounts where I go if I need to sort of like pep up, like I'll go to
Right,
Pinterest to look at like cat videos and pottery glazes and stuff like that. But Instagram, holy shit, it's depressing. And
right.
it's because the algorithm is like showing me all the terrible things that Israel is doing in Swana. Is that what we said it was? Swana?
The girl that was a
Southwest
long time ago, I forgot.
South Southwest Asia, North Africa, Swana.
Yes, I think you're right.
Specifically, yeah, but specifically Lebanon.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't
And
heard what's going on there.
Lebanon is like the new Palestine right now in
Oh,
terms of,
really?
yeah, in terms of just like genocide, bombings, like it's
What?
terrible. Yeah, so my algorithm is, showing me all of these like reports, and you got to remember, like, our media is very censored now, more than it
Very.
has been. And so maybe that's just it. People are choosing to be ignorant, one, for self-preservation, two, they just don't want to know the truth, again, for self-preservation. I don't
Right.
know what it is, but and then there's of course the other ones who are just so brainwashed that, they don't care. But I just
Yeah.
can't, I don't know, I just can't grapple someone not caring that a mother and a baby were bombed and murdered just because they are Lebanese or
Pretty
are
much.
because it's
Unfortunately, that's what it is. It's because they're not blonde, blue-eyed, white, you know, because then they probably would care a little more. I
yeah, if
mean,
they like, or if
to
they
be
were
fair,
American, I
right.
guess, or
To
even
be
like
fair,
European.
they don't care about Ukrainians getting bombed either, and they pass,
True.
they fit
They
that
pass as white Europeans. Yeah.
description. So, I don't
I
know.
think yeah, it's really hard to explain. I think we need like a sociology expert and a psychology expert on like,
Yeah.
because it just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
No.
It's
I can
how
kind
can
of understand it in the sense, like, the way that I didn't care that Charlie Kirk was shot, sort of
okay,
thing. Maybe because we perceive them as bad people, and in their
okay,
mind, they've perceived them as bad people.
okay.
Although I don't know
That
how you justify a child because a child is
right.
not.
You're helping me remember some things because we've read a lot of books on this podcast. You'd think it would help us kind of make sense of all these things. Not that making sense, say, brings people back from the dead or stops
Right.
genocide, but Isabel Wilkerson's cast, one of the
Mm,
defining characteristics, or pillars, if you will. I know there were 7 pillars. One of them was like dehumanization of entire groups of people, which what you just said made me think of that. It's like, um, you know, as long if a government or whatever can get their people to see another group of people as not human, right? Which is what
right.
we did with African Americans, right?
Right.
Um, during slavery was to say, oh, they're not human, so we don't need to feel bad about it, right?
Right.
Somehow, on some level, that's also happening in Sudan, in Lebanon, in Palestine, in Ukraine, in so many South American countries, and even here in the United States with
Right.
the deportations of. But now it's like the lines are getting really fuzzy. So it's like, who is human to you guys?
Right.
Whose life is valuable? Just the people that you know? Like just
Yeah.
the people that go to your church? What about the church down the road? What about all the Christians in Lebanon?
Well, yeah, because they don't even care when our kids are getting shot at school.
Yeah,
They're not willing to give up their Second Amendment for it.
true.
So,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, I don't really know. I
Mm.
don't know. Um, for me, like, I could, on a personal level, like, I didn't care about Charlie Kirk. Do I think that him getting killed was wrong? Yes. Did I care? No, right? Because I don't like him. Um, Same way when the big obituary happens, I'm going to be happy about that because I really have hate for
Well,
this.
there's a difference. I gotta defend you and
Yeah.
your lie because I don't want to put you in the same group as people who are just like, oh, who cares about, like, oh, sure, it's sad that a mom and a baby were literally murdered in Lebanon for just existing, but dot dot dot. Like, you're not justifying. I mean, but I do like the comparison you're drawing with Charlie Kirk, but like that mom and baby didn't go around spreading
Right.
hateful rhetoric.
That's what I'm
And
saying,
so
like, this is just a
yeah.
random person, we don't know anything about them, and so if
Mhm.
I had just heard someone random was shot, which I think is why a
Mhm.
lot of people not supported Charlie Kirk, but were really maybe moved by it, because a lot of people didn't even know who he was,
Mhm.
and they were like, "Oh, I can't believe that happened." Um,
Mhm.
and then they didn't understand why we were like, "Yeah, he's trash," and,
Mhm.
you know.
You know, if you dig deeper, like, that's the thing is, like, you have to know all the facts. You have to
Right.
look at the evidence, right? You can't reject the evidence of your eyes. I'm totally fucking up that 1984 quote, but you know what I mean, right?
I never
Um,
George Orwell, right?
yeah, yeah. Anyway, it was, like, all over social media for a while
Yeah,
when Char or not Charlie Kirk, when Renee, Good was murdered,
right.
and people were making excuses for that guy who's just living a fucking normal life now in some
Yeah,
other state with no consequences,
right.
just like any other cop. Like, a freaking former sheriff in some state hit 2 kids with his car
I saw that.
a few months ago. This was back in November, and then no consequences because he's a
None.
police officer, right? Or he
It
was a
was
former police officer.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
how do you hit 2 kids with your car
Mhm.
and get away with it?
And there's so much like,
Like, we
everyone has a
wouldn't.
phone. Right. No. Everyone has a phone. Everyone has, surveillance. Like, videos are going to surface, and even if it's proved that not to be AI, like, it doesn't people are depending on who you are and who you know, like, video evidence doesn't mean shit.
Right. And, I mean, it's not AI if the police have the video footage and he was arrested for it. He just wasn't charged. He was charged with something like, driving under the influence or something like that.
Oh, was he drunk? So he
That's
should be in
I
jail.
didn't get that part because I just saw a clip of it. I just happened to see it yesterday or the day before, but
Mhm.
they were
The it
young kids.
2 black kids, right? That
I thought it was Hispanic or
either way, not
white
white.
maybe? Not in
So
white.
I'm wondering,
I got
and
Hispanic vibes. You couldn't see really, but the
it
mom.
was yeah, it was hard to you couldn't really see it, and it was
Yeah,
kinda far away, but either way, like, the vibes was getting was not white, and so
yeah.
I wonder if that would it's not completely o outside the realm of possibility to say that if they were white kids, then there would have been a stricter consequence,
Mhm.
you know?
I mean, if you speak to most minorities, they would agree with that statement. I think
Mhm,
very few are still that far up white people's asses that they would be like, "No, no, racism doesn't
mhm,
exist."
mhm, yeah, just trying to yeah, say it doesn't if it doesn't exist, it's not a problem that we need to talk about, right?
Right.
And we can continue to oppress groups
That
of
we're just
people
playing
and
victim,
yeah, yeah.
and it's
Well, all of this relates to what we're going to talk about today, which is the comic book and TV show adaptation, The Boys, which I just recently got into and love it. I'm
it's
like
really good.
obsessed with it. Have you seen season one, the whole season one?
I th Okay, so I watched it years ago when it first came out, so I don't remember
2019.
when. 2019,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hooked, it was really good,
Mm-hmm.
but I just haven't I kinda don't watch a lot of TV anymore. Like, my
Mm-hmm.
kids are shocked, and I think it started because my children would take over the TV.
Yeah.
Like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll just go play on my phone or I'll just
Mm-hmm.
read a book."
It's
And so now
hard.
I come home and, like, my thing is I'm gonna read. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna listen to an audiobook, and so I don't watch a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I kinda stopped watching it, and I don't remember where. If I left off on season 2
Mm-hmm.
or what.
Okay. So there's like 5 seasons, I guess. I thought it was done, but yeah, it's like still going,
It's still
right?
going, yeah.
And so the reason I found out about it was because of the golden statue. So Trump erected a golden statue of himself in somewhere in Miami. Was it at one of his golf
I
courses or
think so,
something?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, and he's got just like posters of himself, just like Hitler style, hanging from buildings in DC. Like, this isn't like the first time that he has concocted some idol for his supporters to worship. But the internet was drawing all these comparisons to Homelander, who is the main superhero in the comic book series, The Boys, because in one
But the
of the
superheroes, let's clear that up, are
oh,
not
they're
really
terrible. No,
superheroes.
I'm gonna get
They're
all into it. Yeah. I am so excited because this is like such a nice change from like, nothing against these literary classics, but it is a nice change from like The Bluest Eye.
Yeah.
Nothing against Toni Morrison. I love Toni Morrison, but sometimes it's nice to like, um, I don't get lost in like a fantasy world, even
Right.
though there are too many parallels between this world and the boys' world.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I learned about it was the golden statue, which was in like one of the most recent episodes of The Boys. And so the
Oh,
internet
really?
was
Okay.
yeah, it was like it came out like a couple of weeks ago.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, like right honestly, I read this and I have to fact check it, but it was almost like it was so close in that like the golden statue that Trump put up was put up on like the same day the episode of Homelander's golden statue.
I wonder if they included that because my understanding is the Trump statue has been done for, like, a while, and
Oh.
in Trump fashion, he
Mhm.
hadn't paid for it, and so
Oh.
I think there was even a lawsuit because they were, like,
Oh.
posting images already of the statue, and the,
Mm.
artist hadn't been paid,
Of
and so
course,
he
he
was
never
pissed.
pays anybody, and
Right.
he has so much money now. Like, back in, I don't know, the late '90s when he wasn't paying people, it was because he was, like, going bankrupt, and now
Old
he's got
habits, you know?
so much money. Jesus Christ.
Have
So
you seen the cup, video that
Cup?
shows yeah, there's a guy who explains, like, how things work, but he visualizes it with, like, solo cups,
Oh, okay. No.
and so he has, like, I don't know, like 10 solo cups stacked up, right? And he's like, "This is how much all the US presidents before Trump have made together, combined." And then he's got, like, a huge stack of cups, and
Oh
he's
my
like, "And this is how much the president has made during his presidency." So,
and it's,
he's
like, that
made
much more.
so much more. I think it's in the billions, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah.
And
He's
meanwhile, I think all the other presidents during their presidency combined have made something like $450 million.
oh my god.
So,
That's wild. There's just oh my god, and there's just, like, too much to talk about
he's
and
such a
keep up with.
scammer though. I just don't think he can break those habits. Because did you hear about the phone?
No. I
Um,
don't know shit. I've
yeah,
been deep into
it's
the boys universe.
apparently and I only hear snippets, right? Because I, like, have the attention
Mhm,
span of, like, I don't know, a squirrel.
mhm. TikTok
Um,
will do that to you.
yes, but apparently he collected $100 from, like, a bunch of people for a phone, a Trump phone,
Okay, I did hear something about a Trump phone, but that's
and
it.
it's not happening, and the
Of
$100 are
course.
non-refundable. So he
Of
just
course. This
scammed
is
a bunch of people.
like, Firefest. Did you see that? Do you remember that? It was, like, the same idea, like, this guy was, like, saying there's this big music festival in the islands or something and, like, got all these celebrities and rich
I
people to,
do
like, give him a
remember.
bunch of money, and then it just didn't happen. Well, it did happen,
It did
but it
happen, but
was
it was like crap,
it
right?
was yeah, that's a good documentary to watch on Netflix. It's called Fire I think it's Netflix, but it's Firefest and
Okay.
yeah. But
I remember
if
that. I do
if only
remember
there was a like when I see that documentary, I'm like, I can't wait to be like 85 years old and on my deathbed and watching the documentary that, revealed all this shit about all
right.
the crazy things that Trump and all of his cronies have done. That's
Yeah.
just my optimistic way of thinking. Like eventually this will be something that we talk about as like a major historical event that, where the truth will eventually have
That
been
we
uncovered.
got
Yeah.
over.
Hopefully. It doesn't
Hopefully,
feel
right?
like that right
I
now.
know.
And
It really
at
doesn't.
the cost of how many lives lost too is just it's crazy. Collectively,
Yeah.
Ukraine and Sudan and which is a whole nother crisis that I can't even wrap my head around. But part of our self-preservation is relating it to books, which you may be wondering, is the boys band? Is that proper grammar? Are the boys band?
Yes,
Is
you're
the
the wrong
comic
person.
book series The Boys banned? Why, yes, it is.
Mhm.
It is banned in so many different countries because it is just so offensive. But I love it. So it's also banned in Texas state prisons. Um,
Really?
but
I am shocked to find out that a lot of books are banned in prison.
Yeah, they don't let prisoners read at all. Like so many things. So if it has anything to do with like making weapons, obviously, or even like alcohol, right? Um, it can't be in a prison library. So like a beekeeper's guide to like making to like caring for bees was banned because it included like a chapter on how to make honey wine. So
Really?
yeah, just like over the top censorship. But also it's like letting inmates read The Boys would just be like giving them something entertaining. Like it is
Right,
very entertaining, but also, like thought provoking in, the
right.
themes that, of capitalism and power and corruption and all that
Yeah.
stuff. What's
But when
an
they're part
inmate
of the
going to do with that?
corruption,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's the issue.
So that's how I found out, it was obviously this would never show up in a school library.
No, it's definitely not, child appropriate, even
No,
if
and that's
children have
okay.
watched it.
Yeah, we have to have some books that are
Right,
for adult, and what it is it's satire sensationalism,
right.
or sensational satire would probably be a better way of putting that. Um, and so I gotta just start by saying I read like the first 7 comic book issues free
Okay,
on Hoopla. So if you're
okay.
interested, go to Hoopla. They're on there. And if you have like an iPad,
Yeah,
you can like it's nice and big, and
the
drawing,
colors.
the artwork is like
Yeah,
great. It's awesome. It's almost better than having like the real comic book, I think.
and to
Um,
get Hoopla, you need a library card, so if you don't
uh-huh.
have a library card, go get
Yep.
one.
Yep. I have 3 library apps. I have Hoopla, which is really good for graphic novels, like because of what I just said. Cloud Library and Libby. And
Libby.
on Cloud Library, I have a book by Allie Hazelwood called Love Theoretically, which
I
I
love
thought
that book.
maybe you would have already read it.
Yes. I have it somewhere on one of my shelves.
Oh, good. Okay, so I rented it. Um, because my a coworker was telling me about it and like how sciency it is, and I
She
was
is
like, oh,
very
okay.
sciencey.
Yeah.
It's very geeky. It apparently is, and I would have never guessed this, based
Mhm.
off of shoot, what show is it based off of?
She
Look it
based her
up.
book off a show?
Yes, off a series. I would have never guessed though. Never guessed.
Okay. You don't know
Um,
which one though?
hold on.
While Jennifer looks that up, Allie Hazelwood has several books that are all, like in the science realm, romance. One of them is being turned into a movie. Actually, one of them is already turned into a movie, like Love Hypothesis or something. And then this one,
Star
Love
Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Oh, so she was like inspired by Star Wars when she wrote the book.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't ask me how or
Uh
what,
huh.
'cause I am not into Star Wars, so I really
Neither am I.
don't see the connection.
Mm,
Um, but yes, apparently it's like fan fiction that turned into a
mm,
book.
mm-hmm. Okay.
So there you go.
Fan fiction I mean, yeah, that happens.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know where the point. Oh yeah, because we were talking about library apps. So yeah, tons of, and got it for free because that's what the library is. That's how things should be. How did he know I messed up? My husband just texted me and said, "I'm sorry, I messed up your mics." How did he know I was complaining about
Be
him?
watching us.
What the fuck? How did he? I'm. That is so funny. That's weird because he's in Massachusetts right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would
Which
check your house for
speaking
hidden cameras.
he's laughing at me now. There's something going on. Oh, got a meeting summary from Zoom. Oh my god. Because we share a Zoom account, freaking AI, summarized our meeting and sent it to him. That's pretty funny. All right.
This is why we can't have AI. We
No, I
cannot.
hate AI. Oh,
Yes,
anyway, man, we have a lot to talk about because it's been too long, huh?
I know.
Okay, here's where we start the book part of this show. Okay, so starting with the universe, right? It actually occurs in the same universe as Preacher, which you should watch. Preacher was also a comic turned into a TV show,
Heard of it.
satire. It's makes fun of Christianity in just the best way. It is
Have we talked about this show before?
yes, we have
Okay.
talked about this. It is a it is just a hilarious satire, but it's so dark, like just like The Boys, Which I
Okay.
will say, I read the comics and then I watched the TV show, and I would say that the TV show is if I were to say like, okay, my teenager wants to watch this, I would say I would rather them watch it than read it.
Oh, okay.
And there's not too many things I could say about that.
Right.
But it's a comic book, so you can imagine the
Very
graphic.
graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is I'm going to I'm going to go into detail on these things here. So if you are not interested, maybe this episode isn't for you. But you know me, I never go too crazy. But there was a scene in the first episode that involved like blood specked semen. And that did not show up in the show. So
I was gonna say I
that's
don't
like an
remember that. Okay.
yeah, because so that's an example of how like the comic book is like supremely sensational and satirical. Like it really goes over the top, right?
Right.
So anyway, it's based in the same universe as Preacher, which is really cool. You could look that up. Those of you listening. And it was actually supposed to be based in the same universe as like Superman and Batman, right?
Right.
And so these were supposed to be different superheroes, like, you know, alongside these other superheroes. But DC was like, fuck no.
I
You
bet.
cannot taint our superheroes with this
Right.
bullshit. And so there was a lot of like legal shit going on with the creators of The Boys. And eventually, like, they found their own home. But that was the original plan, which I thought was
I
interesting.
bet, yeah. I bet DC was like, "Fuck no, you're not
Mm-mm,
doing
yeah.
that." And
Yes.
Marvel, I don't know who's who, but
No, not Marvel. Marvel had nothing to do with it. But
okay.
yeah. So anyway, it follows all these superheroes. They call them soups, right? And the first scene is a superhero named A Train, who reminds me of Captain America. And for some unknown reason, he is going super fast because his superpower is like speed. He goes like he's the fastest person thing on the planet, and he's going super fast down this road, just as the character Huey and his girlfriend are stepping off the curb, and they're like having this really romantic moment,
I
and they're
remember
holding
this.
hands, and she's like, I want to move in with you, and it's just so cute, and like, but it's so cute that you're just like, okay, she's gonna die, because
Right?
why else are they doing this? She's dead, right? And A Train doesn't see her and just completely obliterates her while Huey's holding on to her hands. And the comic book and the show both show just Huey holding on to her hands that have been
Yeah.
detached from her body. So it's like that level of gruesomeness.
Yeah. It is very
Um
gruesome. The show itself
mhm,
is gruesome too. Like,
mhm. It's
it's
it's that shock value too. And it's like
yeah.
the more media the more the entertainment and media evolves, the more shocking it becomes because it's like been there, done that, seen that. Like what do the viewers want that they haven't seen before? It's like
Right.
we saw it with like circuses and you know things. Now
Yeah.
we're seeing it with TV shows. So, um, but then later, A Train is retelling this story to another fellow soup, and he says, "Yeah, I accidentally swallowed her molar," and they like laugh about it because they are basically a not a metaphor. I don't know if it's a metaphor or whatever it is, but for celebrities and including politicians that have no consequences or no
Right.
accountability, and so they can do whatever they want. So that's basically like the whole thing. And so you've got this good guy, right? Quote, I'm putting good guy in quotes because it's Butcher, right? So Butcher is like this really gruff British guy who claims he works for the CIA, but I think he's just like a free agent kind of thing. But his whole mission is to take down the Supes. Do
Right.
you remember Butcher?
I do, I like him.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Now my phone is recording everything I'm saying to you.
Now plotting
Oh
against us.
God, what the hell? Like I have to make sure like everything is locked. It did a really good job at transcribing everything I said. It was just gonna send it to Blake, so um damn it. Anyway, I'll deal with that later. He says, I don't want to hear. Well, close your ear. None of us want to hear. Avert your ears from the evidence. I'm sorry. Oh no, he's fine. He was just apologizing. I can't see it because AI keeps transcribing what I'm saying. Oh, he's like legit worried that I'm talking shit about him. Hold on, I have to tell him it's not that bad. You can listen. He's like, I'm not gonna watch the video just in case.
He's like, "I'd rather not know."
He thinks I hate him. I don't. That's funny. Poor Blake. He puts up with a lot of shit. All right, my phone is locked and off now. Anyway, so yeah, Butcher's hot.
I like Butcher, yeah. He's hot.
Yeah. Like I've always been attracted to that like sort of like gruff,
Gruff?
like
Yeah.
like bad boy kind of, but also good. Like Cormoran Strike. Have you seen the Strike series on HBO?
No.
Based on the book by stupid J.K. Rowling.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so J.K. Rowling wrote the Strike series under a pen name, a pseudonym, Robert Galbraith.
Oh, okay, and it didn't do as well.
I don't know. I read the Robert Galbraith book because it was given to me, and I didn't know it was J.K. Rowling, and I fucking
Mm,
loved it.
really?
And so then I was like, well, shit, I have to read all of these now. And then they created a whole TV show, and so Strike is a great character. Fucking J.K.
Aw.
Rowling. Why do you have
Yeah,
to be good at
I
what you
won't be
do?
watching it.
No, it's just annoying because it's like, I like Harry Potter. I like Cormoran
Yeah, I
Strike. I
know.
don't like who created them.
How did she go from writing that to turning into what she turned into?
I don't know. Like, that's a good question. It's like,
I don't
it just goes to show how you can be like Joss Whedon, for example. He created Buffy, Angel, Firefly.
yeah,
Um, and he's like this nerdy super like sci-fi guy, but he turned out to be a womanizing creep, like sexual abuser kind of guy. It's like, but the point is you can be good at creating stuff and you can be good at your job, but you can still be a shit person.
yeah, yeah,
Anyway, so Butcher is not a shit person, okay, but
right.
he is kind of gruff.
He
And so
breaks the rules a little, but
yes,
he's
yeah,
not bad.
yeah. So what I really like about this series is like all the very obvious comparisons to things like Christianity and like homegrown like goodness, right? So they have this like culture that like worships these superheroes, right? But they're all so terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you laughing at?
I was tell me if you remember this scene
Okay.
where it's kind of like the worm scene, the
Uh-uh.
caterpillar scene. It's a guy who can, like, double himself and make multiple copies of himself.
Uh-uh. I haven't
This
gotten
might
to
be
that
a
yet.
more recent episode
Yeah. Mhm.
that someone in my house was watching, and I just kinda sat in and watched it. When you get
Uh-huh.
to it, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Well, there's so I'm going to talk about some crazy stuff right now. So going back to like the homegrown American, purity culture scene. The whole country, whatever, worships these superheroes, but in different ways. Like there's this like they're called capes for Christ, right? So they're like equivalent to like the young Republicans who like
Right,
look up to people like Charlie Kirk and are like
right,
trying to make their country a quote better place,
right.
and so there's this one girl named Annie January who comes from the Capes for Christ, and she gets chosen to join the seven, which is like the huge, like you don't get any bigger than the seven. So there's like the top seven superheroes, right? Annie January, who's like this perfect like virgin Christian from Illinois, gets
All
chosen.
American blonde, right?
Mhm.
Cute girl.
Pretty cute, all and she actually does have value. Like she actually thinks she's going to make a difference, right?
Right,
Because she's been fed this propaganda, right? In which, the comic books themselves are the propaganda that like the culture that the citizens are just sort of like, absorbing, right? Like the quote is like they get warm fuzzy feelings when they read
right,
about the superheroes, like or catching the bad guys, so it just kind of makes them ignore like the reality of the situation, which you can see in our own world, like
mhm,
with the MAGA Republicans saying, oh, Trump's gonna drain the swamp and
right,
he's going to create jobs and lower grocery prices, but in reality he's in the fucking Epstein files raping kids, right?
right.
This comic book series is just like the best analogy, that's the closest analogy to real life that I have ever come across. I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
So poor Annie January, which her superhero name is Starlight because she like beams light out of her eyes and can kill you, I guess. She shows up to headquarters in the comic book series, and 3 of the 7 show up to greet her with their pants down. And all you see are like butts in the comic books. They don't show, it's not like porn.
Right.
So those of you that are like, do I want to read this or not? I'll paint you in a picture. You see butts, and you know it's insinuated
Right.
what she does and what they do to her essentially. And then they cut to the scene of her in the bathroom, like throwing up, and her mascara and eyeliner is like running down her face. But you know, they did make it a point to say, hey, we're not forcing you to do anything. It's just a
Right.
matter of like how much you want this job. And so she chose
Right.
to keep the job, right? But in the comic books, you know, like they'll show like the blood specked semen coming from under the door. They'll show like, you know, a blowjob from behind, but they won't show, it's not like full on porn. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Um, and like they'll like, I don't know if did Butcher have the dog in the TV show? The dog named Terror that fucks
Don't
things?
remember a dog.
You don't remember a bulldog that can fuck things on command?
No.
Okay, so that must just be in the comic book. I'm only on episode 2, and Jennifer hasn't seen it. So for all we know, there is
Yeah.
a dog that does.
Maybe.
But in the comic book, Butch has a dog named Terror, and it's like a bulldog, and then he can like command it to go like fuck things, I guess. And so he did this to a chihuahua at the park that like this woman didn't clean up the chihuahua's poop, and it was barking and being annoying. So
Oh,
Butcher had his dog do
I'm not
that to him.
Chihuahua fan, but
Yeah, I thought that
the
I was like,
owner's fault.
I don't really like Butcher in the comic book as much as I like him in the show. They
Yeah.
clearly make him more likable in the show.
Yeah.
They change a few things, which I understand. But you know, you can start to see this picture that I'm trying to paint here of like all these themes and stuff. Um,
I will say though, I kind of respect that in the comic book because none of us are good. There are no good guys.
that's true.
we all have a little bad in us and are
Hmm.
willing to, do some bad shit.
Yeah, because like Superman is supposed to be just, well, of course, granted he is an alien from another
Right.
planet, so that makes sense. But in reality, like these superheroes, they're not aliens from other planets. They're not, excuse me. They're not they didn't have like radioactive
Right.
chemicals accidentally spilt on them. They weren't bitten by radioactive spiders. Like they were taken, or they like voluntarily took something called compound V, which does pass down through generations. So like you could be born with superpowers if like your parents took compound V, which was created in the 50s or the 30s or something as like some, I guess it was some sort of warfare thing. So but yeah,
Kind of
that's a good,
Captain America, how he was turned into Captain America.
I know nothing about Captain America.
I love Marvel. I don't know
Hey,
like Marvel and like DC and who's what, but I do love
Captain America.
Captain America and what are they called? The
Oh, the
Avengers.
Avengers.
The
Yeah. Yeah,
Avengers.
I mean, I'll watch those movies, but I'm not like trying to figure out their origin stories and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah. If I had to choose, I would choose DC over Marvel.
Okay.
But mhm.
I
But
like them both.
no one wants to watch that shit with me. So I'm usually just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna watch what everyone else wants to watch. But Blake's been out of town, so I've been able to watch The Boys.
He
So
might like it.
I think he would.
I
Because
think he might.
it's pretty woke, and it's pretty like it's just out there. It's
Right. It's not like your
shock value.
average. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's
so good. I'm like
yeah.
excited to watch more. Um but yeah, so let's see, what else do I want to tell you about? They make a Bill Clinton sex joke in the comic books, which I thought was kind of funny. Because it was written. It makes me wonder what kind of jokes they would be writing about now.
Today.
Because
Right.
this was written a while, like before Trump was, you know. So in this universe, they have a president and a vice president, and the vice president is supposed to be pro soup, and the president is not pro soup, and so that kind of made me think of like like Elon Musk sort of like trying to take over,
Yeah,
and sort of like interject himself into like becoming like a powerful person.
right.
Um but yeah, in this universe, like in the comic books at least, like the government is trying to hold the soups accountable, which is the one part where I'm just like, oh, that doesn't really align because the government fucking sucks in the real world.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you're still going to try and make excuses for Israel.
Yeah. Yep.
And to me, that's just as bad as what these soups are doing in these comic books, if not worse, obviously, because it's real.
Yeah. It does suck when a lot of the Democrats that you do like, their stances on other things,
Mhm.
and then they'll defend what Israel's doing, or at least keep funding it.
Yeah.
That one really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's yeah. So, um, that's why it's nice to read, like escape kind of from reality and kind of read this stuff and because you're sort of like comparing it, but you're also sort of losing yourself in it and like kind of getting both worlds
Yeah.
where you're like staying conscious of like what's going on, but you're also like, oh, this isn't real, but it's
Right.
entertaining to read. Yeah.
I will say I have a hard time reading like dystopian um stories right now just
Hmm.
because they are a little too close to home sometimes.
I
I'm
know.
like,
Yeah.
this isn't the escape I was looking for because
Right. And I used to like really be into reading like, articles from like the New Yorker or just
yeah,
any sort of, well, now, New York Times has gone way downhill since, but now it's just like I don't even want to read these things because it's like,
right.
what? There's no good news.
No.
And it's just now I'm like, give me all of the fantasy books. Like give me all the
Right.
Allie Hazelwood books about falling in love with your I don't even know, theoretical physicist or whatever. Um so so going back to what you said about everyone's bad. I wrote this down when I was writing some notes. Like Annie January, Starlight, whatever, after she has to give blowjobs to Nor, A Train, and Homelander, which in the TV show it's just one. So I do feel like the TV show they kind of they downplay a lot of it.
Right.
It's way less raunchy than the comic books. But she meets her hero, Queen Maeve, in the bathroom, who's Empress of the Otherworld or whatever. But she's also a bitch. Going back to what you were saying, they're all terrible because that's what fame and freedom do. To when you don't have accountability or consequences to answer to. So yeah, even Queen Maeve is terrible. Um, because they just can do whatever they want. And I was talking to Blake about this about how like and not I hate to generalize. I don't want to generalize groups of people, but like if you have a lot of money, let's just say like closer to let's just say like more than like $300 million, right? Which I don't fucking know how much money that is because like that'll never be that rich, right? But
Right.
like there's a line. I'm sure there's been studies done, but like the more money you amass, the more wealth you amass, the more terrible you become.
Right.
There is a direct relationship with wealth and just goodness,
Right.
and that's sort of what we're getting at here. Like, and the superheroes in this comic book, they are all like, they're like, NBA players. They're all like obsessed with their products, their shoes. Like, how well are their shoes doing? Like, how well is their soda doing? Like, what about their movie? Like, who made more money in their ticket sales than they're all competing for who's like the best and who makes the most money
Right.
because just like in our world, it comes down to money. It's capitalism
They're
at its
not doing
worst.
anything for the good of everyone. They're doing it for
Mhm.
themselves. Very
They're
selfish
pre
reasons.
they're pretending like they are by, like, saving a woman from being burgled on the street. It's like,
Right.
"Oh, we saved her from, a home invasion," which, yeah, there are still criminals out there but, why are they stealing in the first place?
Right.
So it's like this cycle. Um, but do you remember so there's the junior soups, which are, like, the nicest pie evangelist? Evangelist, Republican superheroes that like pretend like well actually they really are good. And when I say good, I mean like Annie January, you know?
Yeah. I don't really it's been a while, so I don't remember them. I don't think they're that pivotal to the rest of
Mhm.
the series, maybe?
Mhm.
Or
No, I
maybe
don't
they
think
come back,
so.
I don't know. So it's not
Well, there's another group. There's superheroes or soups, I guess you should call them,
yeah,
everywhere because anyone can get this compound V, which is apparently a secret. I don't know how they keep this big of a secret. It's almost like the Epstein files. Like, how do you
right.
keep this big of a secret, right? Compound V is like a secret that's not really a secret, you know? But there's this other group called Teenage Kicks, and they're more like wrong side of the tracks superheroes. They've got tattoos and piercings, and they're not pure at all, right? And they have like their dark secrets. And so basically, Butcher and his, team of, I guess, like not soups, even though they do have superpowers, right? Because they do take compound V as well. But going back to what we were saying about everyone being bad, like Butcher is a little bit bad. Like they're all, they're bad, but they also see the damage that the soups are doing and they want to
Right.
stop it. So they're like the vigilantes here. And so they put like surveillance bugs in this whorehouse, which I shouldn't say whorehouse. Let's they in their book they call it a knock and shop, which I think is British.
Yeah, I've
It's like
never heard that.
it's because it's a shop where you knock, I guess, like knock as in have sex, I guess. I don't know. But I shouldn't say
Hmm.
the other thing. Or brothel. I originally
A
I had
brothel?
written down brothel, but I feel like that's an outdated term as well.
Yeah. The
Sex
ladies of the night.
workers house. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, they plant all these like surveillance bugs in this knock-in shop, and they all just like all the superheroes like take turns having sex with all the sex workers, and it's very graphic in the comic books. But this is where they get their dirt on them to blackmail them.
Mm.
So this is where they not necessarily just in the knock and shop, but also, in other places like where they're hiding their secrets. There's a lot of homosexuality among the
Mhm.
soups. There's a lot of like stealing. What did some guy stole something from like a children's hospital? Like he stole money from like a children's hospital
A
or something like that.
charity,
Yeah, and
probably
then
some
the girl who her name is I forgot her name, but she's a self-harmer. And
mm,
so they got video of her like cutting, and she would wear these
okay.
gloves that went up to her elbows to hide them. And so there's lots of like sensitive topics in
Yeah,
here, and it kind of comes off sometimes the writing comes off as like a little insensitive. Because that's what it's like, a sensationalist satire, so it's going to come off as insensitive. Um, but I think the point is I wrote it down. Um, the point is, like, it's all fraudulent and it's
right.
all hypocritical, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we see a lot with this purity culture in Christianity and evangelism and just
Mhm.
politics and just Trump in general, like pretending to be this like savior who's really just, a pedophile.
Right.
Um
And
and
not just him, so many people. I mean, the
yes. Yeah.
pastors, the same people that were praying over him, just other people and it's not again, it's not just Republicans. There's been Democrats who have done it as well.
Mhm.
Just going back that everybody is kind of bad.
Yeah.
But I think it's just how we react to it is so different, where, we don't give these people passes. We
Mhm.
hold them accountable, I guess.
But they can be killed too. So as super as they are, they're still human and can be killed. And in the comic book, Huey accidentally kills one because he gets injected with compound V, which in the TV show they haven't gotten to that part yet because they've only watched the first two episodes. But eventually, I'm sure he'll become I don't know what you want to call it, like an anti-soup, but like they have the same powers. Like they can
Which one
still
is
kill
Huey?
soups. Huey is the guy whose girlfriend was killed by A Train.
Oh, that was his name?
Huey, yeah.
Why did I think it was a different name?
I don't know. It's Huey in the show too.
Okay.
And he's so cute and nice. Um, in the comic books, he's Scottish, but in the show, he's American. But yeah, I really like his character. And so he decides, and speaking of good versus bad, right? let's talk about this a little bit more because yes, all people have bad in them, right? But
Right.
it's just how much good do you have versus bad,
Right.
right? Which one outweighs it? And so Huey is offered $45,000 in compensation for his girlfriend being murdered, and he rips up the check. And so Butcher sees this, and he's like, "Okay,
Oh,
I can."
Butcher's who I was thinking of. Okay, I know who Huey is now.
Oh, okay, yeah, Butcher's the guy, the hot guy that we like.
Yes.
Huey's the cute guy that we like. So there's a
The
difference.
younger,
Yeah,
like, nerdier one. Okay.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so Huey rips up the check, and Butcher's like, not a lot of people would do that. I see, you're special. So he becomes a part of their gang in the TV show. Um, and that's just a good example of like the good outweighing the bad. So
Yeah.
let's think about that. What comparison can we draw in real life in terms of like famous people? Like, let's say, I know this isn't going to be a perfect comparison, but like Dua Lipa. Did I say
Uh-huh.
that right?
Yeah.
The sensational pop star who uses her platform for good? Or am I thinking of a different pop star?
You might. I don't follow
I
her
saw
that
something
much.
recently where I thought it was Dua Lipa was like very outspoken about some sort of like social
She
issue.
might have been. I just don't listen to her that much, so she doesn't come up in my feed. I know I have seen stuff about her. I
Hmm.
just can't tell you what.
Okay.
But I think
Well,
you might be right.
we could think of other examples. Like, what's a good example that you know of for in terms of celebrities?
Oh, okay. Harrison Ford was
Okay.
just I just saw a video of him today, at a commencement speech,
Hmm.
and I thought he was MAGA. To be
Really?
I wasn't like, I just didn't pay that much attention just based on his age, and being white and a man and in, Hollywood. I was like, "Maybe he's MAGA?" Around that age, they start to turn MAGA.
Yeah. Yeah. White
Um,
American man. I mean.
yeah, and no, he was at a commencement speech. He didn't, like, talk out against Trump specifically, but he just spoke up about saving the environment,
Hmm.
about the killings of indigenous people, and I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh shit, I wasn't aware he was this
Hmm.
woke," you know?
Yeah. And and we've said this before. It's really important that if you have a platform, to use that platform for
Yeah.
good. And we saw this. It's been so long since we recorded. When I'm on social media, I'm like, oh, we got to talk about that and that. And
Yeah.
two of the things that I wanted to talk about with you were Coachella and the what's the Met Gala.
Okay, yeah.
So Coachella, there were a lot of artists that used their platform to speak out against ICE and to share solidarity with Palestine. There was a group from like a punk group from the 2000s that did this, and they had like video on the screen. Do you remember
Okay.
that?
I've seen a few videos. I know
Wait,
Becky
was it
G
what?
I know Becky G is one that speaks out a lot against ICE. She's not as
Mhm.
popular as other artists, but I mean, I know who she is. Um,
Mhm.
who else? There was somebody else that I wanted to bring up. Oh, Halsey. She does a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of,
Halsey. I could say it Halsey. I don't know how you
and
say
then
it.
there's the other girl she's from a grunge band. Oh my God. And she's always speaking out too. And I can't think of, um,
She's from a grunge band?
I say grunge, it might not be grunge. Um, and now all I can think is No Doubt, and it's definitely not No Doubt
Oh,
because
Gwen Stefani?
she
Oh,
is
no.
not. She's
No.
full on MAGA now.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, so let's just go with that. Like
Haley. Her name is Haley something.
you've got people like Gwen Stefani who go full on MAGA, and you don't know why. And then you've got other people that go the other way, like Lady Gaga, um, and Beyonce, who have used their platforms for
Paramore. So her name is Haley
Paramore.
Paramore. Her.
That is not grunge.
No, I don't know. To
Oh,
me,
that's funny. Grunge is
is
like
she punk rock? Yeah.
Paramore would be like emo pop.
Emo? Okay. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I like Paramore. That's who I was thinking of.
Yes.
Paramore
Okay.
at Coachella did that. Yeah. And but yeah, Kurt Cobain is like grunge and like
Okay.
Pearl Jam and
Which I
that
used
kind
to
of
listen
stuff.
to in the 90s, I guess. So to
Yeah.
me, this
Well,
is who I would listen to in
yeah.
thousands, right? Late
Some would say that grunge died when Kurt Cobain died. And by some I mean my son. which what does he know? I mean, what do I know really? But that's just, us drawing comparisons to, like, who's got their good outweighing their bad that we all have in
Right.
them, such as, Jeff Bezos's ex-wife,
Yes.
who
Yes.
has taken her money that she got from being married to him and has done more good with it than he has or will ever do with his fortune.
Yeah.
So, uh, and then the Met Gala. Have you seen, again, my algorithm is so depressing. I should probably change it up a little bit. But have you seen the Met Gala posts of like the skeleton dress and a side by side to like a actual starving child, like that shows their rib
Oh,
cage?
no, I didn't.
So you can imagine the visual of like
Yeah.
some like celebrity wearing this ridiculous dress at the Met Gala that like looks like her rib cage. It's like silver rib cagey kind of thing, side by side with an actual starving child. And so a lot of celebrities are suspected to not have attended the Met Gala as a silent form of protest because the Met Gala is basically just like an egregious, pointless show of wealth
Right.
and disparate, like, you know.
It always reminds me of Hunger Games a little, with
Yeah.
the way they dress and yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I just watched the Hunger Games movie, so I know exactly the scene you're talking about. Where and they're like, "Oh, drink this,"
Right.
and it'll make you vomit so that you can just keep eating.
Yeah.
So just the egregious waste of
Yeah.
resources when people not too far away from you
Mhm.
have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna look up more about the Met Gala, but that's pretty much it.
Just on
Really.
another note, another person we could bring up too is, oh my god, she's Billie Billie Eilish.
Oh yeah, Billie Eilish. Yeah, I guess that's like if we're gonna be optimistic here. I have been seeing a lot more celebrities kind of standing up for you pick. Right, there's all kinds of things you can stand up for
Right.
these days. Um, unfortunately, we'll see what happens because really, what can they do? Right,
Right.
what they can do is motivate their voting, their people, their followers to vote, right? And since the last election, right, it goes the 20, what year is it? 2026?
Yes.
So it was 2020,
4?
2024.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then you have midterms. I should have known that because midterms is 2026. So now you have midterms coming up this year, right?
Right.
And so my point is like with all these celebrities, which we live in a country where all we care about is freaking Billie Eilish and the Met Gala and Coachella. Like that's the shit we care about. That's the people in this comic book reading their comics to escape reality, right? So if you have the comic books telling you like, hey, this is happening and it's bad, or hey, go out and vote for so and so because this one is bad. Like if you
Yeah.
have Billie Eilish and Lady Gaga and all of these, artists and athletes and celebrities saying like this guy fucking sucks, do something about it, then
Right.
you're going to see an actual result.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but sometimes the wrong people are given platforms, right? Or like people who shouldn't, like
Hmm.
I'm not saying that they can't have smart, intelligent thoughts or whatever, but I'm saying like, okay, a celebrity, that's they make movies, they sing,
Hmm.
that's their extent. They might know more, but like why are we giving them all this influence in our lives? We might question that, but they still influence a lot of people, and that's just what
Yeah,
it is.
you
So
are what
when
you consume.
right. So when they are speaking out on things like that, as much as we might not be like, "Oh, it's not the best example of a person we should be following," at least they're influencing people to do good things.
Hmm.
And I think that does matter. Like, I think if they have a platform, they should use it.
Hmm.
I don't think they have to, but I definitely think I feel better about them when they do.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I think a lot more celebrities in the United States anyway lean for lack of a better term, left, right?
Right.
I'm not saying Democrat, I don't know, whatever left is. They lean
Yeah.
towards mothers and children not and their children not being killed, whatever that is for you. They lean more towards that, and away from genocide.
Yeah.
And that goes to show something. It's sort of just like a temperature check. So hopefully, the midterms aren't canceled by our crazy president.
And we have bad people too. Did you see, oh my God, not Jeffree Star. He's another James Charles. Do you know who that is?
No,
Okay, so he's big in the makeup world. Do you know who Jeffree Star is?
no.
No. Okay, so they're both like big influencers. They have like brand deals now with makeup companies and stuff. They're young. Jeffree Star, I don't think is that young anymore, but James Charles, if think is still under 30 or maybe in early 30s. I still think under 30, but
Mhm,
he's never had to have a real job, right? And
mhm,
so he's under fire right now because he came out with a post bitching because one of the Spirit airline employees reached out to him and was like, "Hey, like I love you. You're so great, blah blah. I'm going through some really tough times right now. It would really help me if you would share my GoFundMe. I used to work for Spirit Airlines. I just lost my job." And so he comes on and makes a post bitching about how dare she message him, asking him for money and stop being such a lazy bitch and go get a new job. It's not my responsibility to support you, da 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 da. And just being so like out of touch. It's not a big deal. You just lost your job.
mhm.
And so
That's terrible.
terrible,
Sounds
terrible.
like a soup.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so people are like really pissed off that he said that because how out of touch are you? Like the average person is who's buying your makeup.
mhm.
How could you not understand? Like you've never had to apply for a
Just
job.
don't reply if you're gonna be like that.
That's what people were saying. Like you could have just kept that to yourself and just not
Yeah.
responded. But you made public and then now you're like, "Oh no, that's not what I meant," or whatever. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
To me it's just wild and so self-centered that he would think,
Mhm.
you know, that
That
she's
it's
lazy. And his job
yeah.
is literally making videos, which I'm not saying that's not hard, but like
Oh,
you've never
yeah.
had to go out and like clean toilet or,
Yeah, he has a
clean
charmed
hustle
life.
for a job.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of, the Kentucky lawmaker who replied to this poor 10-year-old boy's letter
Yes.
about green energy or
Yeah.
something?
EV cars
Electric
or something.
cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, he did, like, this awesome research on how it would, like, create jobs and cut, toxins in the environment or whatever, and she, like, replied to him saying that he was brainwashed?
Right, and to ask his teacher about propaganda
Oh my
and, like,
gosh.
how much him and his classmates were gonna cause other people to pay in bills or it was awful.
It really
Awful.
backfired for her, though, but it backfired for her, but it's still sad because, like, that's who's running our country. Those are the
Yeah,
kinds of people that are running our country, and we need to vote them out.
and
Um
again, why would you respond to a 10-year-old like that?
Just don't respond. Yeah, if
Yeah,
that's how you feel, but, like, you suck for feeling that way anyway, so and on that and a similar note, did you see with all the redistricting that's happening in the
yeah.
Supreme Court ruling of, what's the word? I can't think of it right now. I'm trying redlining?
Gerrymandering? Oh,
Gerrymandering, yeah.
yeah,
Well, and the same idea that, like, basically you can't redraw congressional maps based on race,
right,
and so that's bad news now because it's going to it's going to be disproportionate based on where people live because they're trying to say, oh, racism isn't a thing. Well, like
right,
we can't, or the constitution says we can't do this based on race because that would be racist. Well, it's a little more complicated than that.
right. Yeah,
But I think this was related that a bunch of lawmakers in Kentucky were just like fired or committee, not lawmakers, they were like committee members. They were relieved of their duties for protesting
was
this.
that in Tennessee?
Tennessee, maybe, yeah. Or
Okay.
it's one of those central
I think I
southern
did see that
states.
in Tennessee, they lost all their congressional seats or something like that,
I thought it was
or
committee.
kicked off committees. Yes,
They
yes,
were
they were
kicked off committees, yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah,
because they were protesting this.
yeah,
And that's just more censorship. Like, are you telling me you can't protest anything or you'll get things taken
Mhm.
away, you know?
Well, on the same token now, did you see also Trump signed something I should I should
Oh,
have
I
more
know what it is. I think I
details.
know what you're saying. It's about, it's like created under the guise of
Yes.
fighting terrorism in our country.
Yes.
Is and I think the words he uses are Islamic terrorists, which
Mhm.
but also trans people, like pro-trans people are in the same category. I have it right here on my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, if you have it. It's like a letter that he signed,
Mhm.
something about you're talking about the same thing, yeah. But
Yeah.
also where anyone who kind of speaks out against him or
Mhm.
left-leaning, you know,
Mhm.
protesters are gonna be one of them that are gonna be targeted as terrorists.
Yeah.
And I think that's such bullshit. We are gonna be labeled as terrorists.
Mhm. That is yeah. Yeah, we definitely will.
So,
And so I'm just looking through all my Instagram posts now. So it was in Tennessee, and it was the representatives Gloria Johnson, Afton Bain, Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and more were removed from all of their House standing committees and subcommittees for standing up for civil rights. So they were protesting what had
and
just happened.
Tennessee has been trying to silence that group for a
Hmm.
long ass time.
Hmm.
Because the
Yeah.
Justins, they are someone
You know
like
the Justins?
I know the Justins. They they stand on business, they are very intelligent, and they really do fight for their community, and
Dang.
they don't like it, and
So they
they
were removed
hate
from their subcommittee. Listen, ACLU or someone's got to get involved in this, and they're going to get put back on there. And this is just a tactic to get them off for now,
yeah,
and so they can do more damage. Ah, it's just terrible. Um, okay, so here's the counterterrorism letter. Last week, the White House released a United States counterterrorism strategy.
that's what it is.
Yeah, it identifies violent left-wing extremists, which including anarchists
That see?
and anti-fascists. What? He literally used the term anti-fascist. Why
Yeah.
can't you be an anti-fascist?
Well,
Oh,
because they want fascism really bad in this country.
oh my god. Okay. As a security threat of equal severity to legacy Islamic terrorists and narco terrorists and transnational gangs. So he's putting anti-fascists, which I would argue I'm an anti-fascist,
Yeah,
in the same category as a narco terrorist.
yeah.
I am not a narco terrorist.
He is friends with narco terrorists.
Right. In a bizarre but familiar turn, I love this. This is Mother Jones magazine that I'm quoting right now. In a bizarre but familiar turn, the document also blames transgender people for the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Oh my gosh. So that was an article, but I don't have the actual language in front of me. But it was something like, anyone who's pro trans is clumped into this category and they're going to come after you. So, like, if you are a part of any sort of group that is anti discrimination, that
Yeah,
I just can't.
it's and you know what? Just to kind of wrap it up a little, because I know we've talked for a little bit now.
Hmm.
It's not all bad, and I wanna end on a good note. Did you see what the New York, uh, mayor did?
Oh, Mamdani?
Mamdani,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, let's talk about New York because if I'm going to move anywhere, it's New York fucking city
Yes,
because I'll be able to afford to live there now.
right. He
He got
literally
rid of all the deficit.
Yep,
I mean, and we've been saying for
your
oh, you can't
sound
hear
cut
me.
out. Yeah, now
Oh,
I can.
okay. We've been saying or not we, but our government has been saying for decades that we cannot get rid of the deficit.
Right, and he did it in what,
Hmm.
5 months?
Yeah.
6 months? And without cutting any help to the community.
Yeah.
He's
It.
literally taxing the rich,
Hmm.
cutting waste, actual waste, not like, uh, what was that Doge or whatever tried to do, which was
Yeah,
bullshit.
which was complete bullshit. And even
And
Elon Musk admitted that he didn't do anything.
yeah, And he's not cutting any services, so he did it.
All you have to do is tax billionaires. So
12 billion budget. The
that's
12 billion
crazy.
in deficit, and he got rid of it.
That's just amazing. So yeah, that's good news. Oh yeah, I have it right here. Mayor Mamdani just brought New York City's $12 billion deficit down to zero. Wow. When he came into office, he uncovered the deficit, and then what, 5 months later?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that goes to show that it can be done. And, we kind of knew that, at least I suspected. I'm sure if we were to just like open our eyes and ears to the evidence in front of us, we would see all of this, the golden statues, the jets, the lobster dinners that Kash Patel treats himself to. It's just becoming, and even before that, it was still, oh, we can't do this because, oil prices and,
right.
Well, it's like
the ballroom.
The mirror paints for what is that fucking
pool,
thing?
The reflection pool?
The reflection pool, yeah.
Yeah. And it's all just expenses. The reflection pool didn't need to be redone. Yeah. And I heard first, and they always start off with, oh, it's only $1 million. Now I think it's up to like 16 million.
It's ridiculous.
I
think it's more than that. Yeah.
The ballroom went from, oh, it's, gifts, we're not paying for it, to now we're paying like.
Well, who's paying for it? Us. We're paying for it. Yeah.
Well, no. And then even if you're getting it as a gift, what do you have to do for that gift? Because it's not a free gift. It's, it's a barter. I'll give you this, and then you're going to give me something back.
But yeah, you're right. We've been talking for a long time, so we will wrap it up. I think we did a pretty good job considering we've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Catching up on thing. We didn't talk about hantavirus, but that's okay. Hopefully that's not a thing.
I don't want to talk about
Let's not talk about it. Well,
I want to ignore it and hope it goes away.
The next time we record it, we won't even mention it because it won't be a thing.
It should be gone by then.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so go out there, get your library card, download Hoopla, read The Boys. Or just, I mean, you got to give your money to Jeff Bezos, but you can get on Prime and watch it. But it is really good. It's a really great show to watch. One thing I'm going to say is they do talk a lot about privatizing war in the show, because they want the soups to be part of like the national defense, right? And how like it would be bad to privatize war. Well, what are we doing with corporations like Raytheon and their billion-dollar government contracts? So there's yet another.
Is that the one that his children invested in?
Probably. I don't know. I can't keep them up.
Or those were drones. I think they invested in a drone company that now has a contract with the military.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of those private corporations that definitely profit off of war and have been for some time, but the general public doesn't get it.
Right.
And that's me. I'm the general public. Like, I don't get it. But that is something that I want to learn more about. Maybe we can have an episode. Maybe there's a book out there somewhere that will tell us in a user-friendly way. Because it's too much information. So I'm going to go back to watching The Boys.
Yeah.
Yep. So that being said, don't ban books or comic books.
Ban bigots. This episode has been engineered and mixed by your hosts, Jennifer and Courtney.
You can listen to the Milf for Books podcast on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, or literally any podcast app you want.
Check out our Milf for Books YouTube page. That's MILF, 4, Books. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Follow the show on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and Blue Sky at MILF for Books. Again, that's MILF, 4, Books. But follow us on TikTok at Moms Into Literary Freedom.